Hi guys, this is me, Alex Perez, with another with another interview with my friend Adam Carlisle. He'll he'll join me in just a second. Hey,
Hey, there you are. I thought maybe you slept in or something. I wasn't sure, but
I'm
good to
I'm
see you,
sorry.
Alex.
I'm sorry. I I I ran a little late.
That's okay.
So do you mind if I if I play my new jingle to get us started here?
I don't mind at all. I think I've heard it before, though.
Oh, I know, but but
Hey, yeah, thank you. I want to thank you and your viewing audience too for having me on the Disability TV network today. It's an honor.
um it's um it's it's my honor to have you as a friend, man. Um um can you hold on while we get this interview started?
I'm right here with you, brother. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, let me. Can can you hear it okay?
I can. Yep. Yep.
Okay. This this G jingle is a is a is a is a good one. I like it.
You like the new theme song?
Yes. I was dancing. I was dancing when I first heard this. So
Well, good. You said you wanted a catchy tune this time for your theme song, so I came up with something a little funkier than the last one was kind of lame, wasn't it? In comparison.
okay.
Yeah, that'll be about enough of that.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I recorded all that on one keyboard on a Roland Phantom.
Um um hi hi Hi, Adam. How are you doing? And welcome to the Alex Perez Show Disability TV Network.
I'm
Adam,
I'm doing great, Alex. Thanks for having me on again, and
uh,
thanks for everybody who's watching, and thank you to the Disability TV Network.
I, I, I just, I just want to, to, to let you know. Um, can you hear me okay, buddy?
Yep, yep. Can you hear
Or
me?
yes.
All right, all right.
Sometime when I go live with my shows, I have internet issues, so I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. Okay.
Right
So
on.
Adam, so tell us um for my audience that you know haven't haven't you know you know met you before. Um, how did you start playing the piano?
Well, I started playing piano in my house. I used to live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, when I was about 9 years old, and my dad bought a big old upright piano. I think he kind of intended to learn how to play it himself. Uh, I don't know. He might have been influenced by his uncle Bill, my great uncle Bill, and I was too later on. But at the time, I had been listening to the Beatle records and Bob Dylan and stuff like that that my mom and dad always put on the radio or on the record
I
player as I was a kid. And my dad brought this big piano into the house, and I just started beating on it with my fingers one day and picking out little notes, and I just kind of taught myself. I think my dad came home from work one day and I was playing the B side of Abbey Road, one of the Beatles' later albums, and he was like, "Wow, this kid should be playing this, not me," something like that.
who 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 inspired you to who who inspired you to play the piano, man? Um,
Well,
I know you said it was your dad,
it
but
was at the beginning because he brought the first piano into the house that I ever touched. But like I said, after listening to records and hearing people like Billy Preston and Ray Charles, I probably got to hear Al Cooper and people like that. I didn't even know who they were then, but I liked their style. So my influence started with those guys: Al Cooper, Stevie Wonder, Billy Preston, Ray Charles, and then later on, Bill Payne from Little Feat, uh, Billy Powell from
um
Leonard Skinner. I like a lot.
um you know that that's a that's amazing how uh you are excellent on that piano and that piece that we just heard on my computer um that was all um that was all Adam's creativity right there.
Yep, I did that the other morning. I think, well, I forget when it was. Maybe Monday morning or something. I got up and hammered that one out for your show. Uh, I did one
um
about a year ago, jingle for your show, and I think this one's a lot more upbeat. I think it's more catchy. So
did you
I'm glad you
did
like
you
it.
see did you see me dancing in the beginning, man?
Yeah, pretty hard to miss. Yeah, you almost jumped out of the
um
screen there.
you know, tell tell them tell them why why you like playing piano and going to going to gigs and stuff.
I think
And
any type of musical instrument is therapeutic, uh, both mentally and physically to me. And it music is just a thing for everybody to enjoy, whether you're a listener or a performer. But as a performer, I'm going to tell you, it puts me in a like a really good place, almost like a type of meditation for me, and makes me happy, and it makes me forget, at least for a few minutes, makes me forget about anything bad in the world, which sometimes you
uh,
need something like that. And I think that's why I keep at it. All the times I thought I was never going to play again, uh, I thought I was going to leave music, but it won't leave me.
um, and 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 tell and tell them what you got what you got go, going on. Um, you're recording up in the Gainesville with another band. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. I'm doing a couple of different recordings with a few different people right now. A couple of them in Gainesville. There's an artist, a really good new country artist named Cliff Dorsey. Uh, got an album
Um,
out, gonna be, and also Shane Ramler, a good friend of mine here in Salt Springs, Florida. He's gonna have an album coming out soon, and
um,
I'm hopefully I'll get to do a little keyboard for him.
um, Adam, when you get those 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 um those albums done, can you please make sure that you get your buddy Alex a copy if you're allowed to? Um,
Hey,
I don't
buddy,
know.
if I gotta buy you one myself and send it to you, I will. I'll just bring it to your house. Heck, we're practically neighbors.
You know, um, this 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 guy is the the greatest man that I ever met. He's a awesome. He's an awesome musician. He's a great guy. Um, as as I told you guys in the past shows, we met in Clearwater Beach, Florida, and uh, you know, and after that we became good friends, right, buddy?
That's exactly right. That's where we met. I was playing with John Stone, and I remember you sitting in the front row singing, and John handing you that microphone that day, and you sang right along with every word to his song. I was pretty impressed with that. That's why I
Um,
introduced myself to you when the show was over, and I found out you lived in Ocala, and I thought that was pretty cool because my wife and I just bought a house there, near there, and we weren't even living in it then, but uh,
so so what made you I mean what made you um um want to want to play with my buddy John Stone in the first place? You
well,
mind you mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking at all. First of all, John's a very talented guy, and he had a great band. And uh, I heard him play in Tennessee. I think it was at the Coop one night, and somehow they didn't have a keyboard player or something, and they got me to come up and sit in with them. And then a few months later, he gave me a call to go out and do just a few tours, a couple shows with him and stuff. And uh,
He's he's one hell of a guy. Love me.
He genuinely is. Yes, John Stone is genuinely a nice guy. Him and his wife Tammy. I made good friends with them when I lived in Tennessee. I thought
Um,
they were great people. Still
if
are.
if if you saw my interview with uh John Stone last week, I know you did, but I was on here with with him. If you had caught that interview,
I watched it
I
later. Yeah, I saw it. It was good.
um you know what um out of all the shows that I do, which one is your favorite? Um,
I got to say that one was so far because he talked about his hemp growing operation, and I found that pretty interesting. And he played a song live on your show, which was pretty cool. And you
yeah,
and you and him sang together on it, which was really cool.
yeah. I, and again, I'm sorry about the audio between um John and me. We was using our cell phones a day, and when it when when our cell phones is running at the same time, you know it's 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 hard for the internet to you know what I mean.
Yeah, that technology's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah. So um so so oh can you can you tell us about um can you tell us about how you first got started in the catfish band Electric Catfish?
Yeah,
Uh,
electric catfish
um,
was
if
yeah.
if you don't mind, while you're talking, I'm gonna play their music in the background for you
Okay, all right,
on the on your on your sound cloud.
okay.
Um, is that good?
Whatever works for you, buddy. Yeah, Electric Catfish was a band that originally was started by some friends of mine and my brother Matt. My brother Matt Carlisle, who's a bass player in Nashville, and
Okay.
he had some friends,
Um.
Joe Vaden and Tim Binkley, and they had a band, an earlier band that they were working with, and they needed a
Okay.
keyboard player, so they had me kind of join up and come to some rehearsals, and it worked out for everybody because of mainly the vocals. There was four musicians and four lead singers at the time in the band, so we really able to put out good harmonies. And
Okay. Can you hold on while I get it up,
sure,
buddy?
I sure can.
Um. Um. Sorry, it's
That's all right. I'm in no hurry, buddy. I'm retired.
um. It's taking me so long to think to get that up for you. You know, it don't usually take me this long, but um, here we go. Tell, tell, tell us, tell us, tell us the story behind this song.
Oh, this is what you're playing here is actually a song with me and my dad. This is not Electric Catfish. This is my father, Ray Carlisle, who's now passed away. But that's me playing the mandolin and him playing guitar. at a live show. That's a live recording off my SoundCloud page. But that's not Electric Catfish, but it's still damn good music. And I really miss my
I'm
dad, so I'm kind of glad you had that on there.
I'm I'm sorry. I had my volume up loud on my computer, but can you repeat that that part again?
Yeah, that tune you had queued up right there and played a little bit of was part of a live recording. I think that's also on my SoundCloud page with the Electric Catfish. But that was my dad and me playing guitar and mandolin together at a live show in Tennessee a few years back. I recognize it, but not it wasn't Electric Catfish though.
Oh, okay. Um, I'll, um, if you don't mind, I'm gonna play a couple of your songs that you did with them in the background, and you kind of fill us in what's going on here. Would you mind?
I don't mind at all. Take all the time you need.
So, so what's this song about?
That's a song my dad wrote right there too. That's also my father's one of his songs. He was actually a member of the Nashville Songwriters Guild, and he wrote a lot of songs over the years. He was more of a folk singer, you might say, but a lot of the songs on my SoundCloud page that you're going to pull off are stored on there. So I had a way to keep his music alive
Um,
and accessible. But,
I just hope when we get done with this interview that they won't that they won't that Facebook won't say anything about copyright.
yeah, I don't know how that works, but anything I have on there, you got permission from me.
Yeah, but you know, if if they hear some 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 kind kind of music that don't belong to me, they will kind of shut me down. But
Right. They do a copyright infringement. Uh, yeah, they'll knock it down. Yep.
um, which I'm hoping that your music won't get me in trouble. But
Well, I sure hope not. It's got me in trouble a few times though,
yeah.
for
Um,
other reasons.
what do you think about this this copyright thing? You know how these companies work, like YouTube and Facebook, while we're on the subject.
Well, I
Uh,
understand how it works is because there are unscrupulous people, unlike yourself, that would use other people's music to make a profit or make some kind of money off of. I know your show is nonprofit, and I get that. I think they should have some type of a filter or some, and maybe there is, I don't know, but unfortunately, too many people will use other people's music to make money from, and they don't have the right to do that. So it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. You can't even have music playing in the background in your house while you talk to your kids, and Facebook could shut it down because they hear something off the TV that's copywritten material, and the algorithms pick it up and they shut you down. So sometimes it's another one of those double-edged sword things with technology we were talking about earlier.
I'm I'm not trying to get myself in trouble. I just figured I could could play your music, and you know, um, you will explain what's behind every song. So I hope I don't get in trouble, but you know, but but you know, you know, um, what was your favorite song that you ever did with with the Electric Catfish Band?
Wow. Wow. We had quite a few. I like Blue Monday an awful lot because I like blue. I grew up playing blues and funk and R&B stuff. Uh,
I
I never made any money off of that kind of music, but I sure enjoy it.
I
And
I was I was thinking about these 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 questions last night before I went to bed. You know, and I figured I would ask you those
yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't mind.
that's a good question because I like a lot of the songs on there that we put on the Electric Catfish album, um, and they wouldn't be on there if I didn't like them. But I got to say, Blue Monday is one of my
Uh,
favorites. I think Tim Binkley and Joe Vaden wrote that song.
let me go to my Twitter because I think I have some of the Electric Catfish on my Twitter. Um, can you hold on for just a second, buddy?
Yep.
Um, I got. Hold on. Um, I I think I have it. I'm not. I'm not sure what happened, but tell us what what is what is your all-time favorite song that you wrote with the Catfish Band? Why I look for your, you know.
Yeah. Well, as uh, as far as my favorite songs, I think there's a song on there called "Moonshine Runner." It's got some mandolin on it that at the beginning that I do mandolin and keyboards on it, and that's a pretty good one too. It's a little
Um,
it's got a little more of a country rock feel.
hold on for just a minute. I'm
Yeah.
trying to pull that up,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yep.
As
Moonshine
we
Runner.
as we speak. Think I got it now. Uh, hold on for just a minute. Um, maybe. Um, I when I first heard that song, buddy, I thought it was very good.
Thanks. We recorded that
Um,
at my studio in Nashville.
um, do you do you ever miss Nashville, buddy? You
Yep.
know.
Yeah, there's times I do. Yep. I got a lot of good friends there and some family too. So yeah, I really
Mm,
do.
but you glad that you're down here with me, aren't you?
Man, you don't know how much I appreciate the friends I've made since I've lived here in Florida. especially you and your family. But I made like a whole new family of friends in the 4 or 5 years that I've lived down here, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I like living out here in the forest. Also, it's a lot different than living in the city or.
Okay. I think I got your 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 page up now with the fisherman. Just give me a, a couple seconds to pull it up. Um, hey, buddy. When you uploaded my new song, you didn't you didn't set it to where I can download it onto my phone.
Hmm. Well, you tell me how to send it to you, and I will. I'll send it to you as a MP3 or a WAV file, whatever type of file you need. I can get it to
I
you. You just got to let me know if it's an email address or I might be able
I
to send it to you in a text. I don't know.
I I I already got it on my computer, but you know, you know, when you put it on your Reverb Nation page, you you forgot to set it to download it on my phone if I needed to.
Okay. Well, I'll see
You
that
know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah, I'll see.
Adam, are you there?
Yep.
I'm sorry, we had a little bit of a connect connection issue.
Yep.
Um, I'm sorry about that, but to can you tell um any more things about the electric catfish? How how do you get your music and stuff and you know?
Yeah. Well, that band consisted of a guitar player, a drummer, a bass player, and myself on keyboards. And the bass player is my brother Matt, and some of our two best friends, Joe Vaden and Tim Binkley, were the main songwriters in that band. And we all contributed a little bit lyrically, but mostly musically. And what I liked about the band again was the 4-part harmonies that we did. We grew up loving bands like Crosby, Stills and Nash and the Eagles and the Beatles and things. People who did a lot of good harmonies in their songs, but yet had a lot
Oh,
of energy. And I think that's what I like about the band the most, and kind of where our music style comes from. But you
oh,
can't really compare it with anybody else.
oh, here we go, buddy. Here's a little bit of Moonshine Wonder.
Moonshine Runner. All right, I haven't heard it in a while.
If you can hear it in the background.
Yep.
Running through the backwoods with the revenues on my tail. Got a little moonshine in the back of my truck, and I'm afraid I'm going to jail.
What's and what's the story behind this song?
Well, it was a pretty common story during Prohibition, uh, and it's basically about some young boys who make their own moonshine, and they're not afraid to go to jail.
You
They'll do whatever it takes to get it to their customers. And
do you like how you know, play a little bit of your music while you're talking? You know what I mean?
yep, you say you're gonna play some?
Huh?
You're yeah, go ahead.
I I was playing it in the background while you're talking, and I wasn't sure if you could hear it or not. But
Yeah, I can hear it. Yep.
I'm just trying to you know take 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 my time. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you know the words to some of our music too.
Because because I've been listening to it on your SoundCloud page.
Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff stored on SoundCloud. I haven't looked on that page in a while. I don't know. A lot of my dad's music is on there too, so it's kind of all mixed
Um,
together. But
um, so, what do you like playing? What do you like playing? Um, who do you like playing with the most when you play your little gigs here in Ocala?
well, everybody, man, the people I've met in Ocala and the musicians I've met here are fantastic. Not only good players, but just good people too. I haven't met anybody yet that I got to perform with in Gainesville or Ocala that I didn't like, and that's really cool. You can't say that about every town, but man, to pick a favorite, I don't know if I could do it because they're all a little bit different. Some are rock bands, and some are country bands, and some are blues bands, and I like it all. So, man, that would be putting me on the spot to try and to give you a favorite band, but uh, I just enjoy it, and I'm honored that they all let me come and sit in with them once in a while.
This this interview will be played later. If you guys missed it on the Alex Perez show, and I'll even put it on on my SoundCloud. If you guys missed it, so um buddy, tell tell them what you got coming up. You, you said you playing in the parade.
Oh yeah, I just got a call from one of the bands I play with. It's called Heavy Petty. They're a really good Tom Petty tribute band based out of Gainesville. And the homecoming uh, parade, I believe it's October 4th. He told me, and we're actually going to be playing on a float going through downtown Gainesville during the homecoming parade. And the cool thing is the whole band's going to be powered by a solar power. Uh, and the name of the solar company slips. I can't plug them right now because I forgot the name of them. But it sounds pretty. It sounded like fun to me, and I've never done that before. Played at the University of Florida homecoming
Uh,
parade on a wagon going down the street. So I had to say yeah.
um, I I'm sorry, guys, about my little internet issue, but I told you guys it was gonna happen, but you know, Adam, what do you like about your buddy Alex? You know,
What do I like about you?
yep,
The things that I like about you the most are that you're always smiling, you're always happy. Every time I come and see you, you always give me a big hug. You've
yeah,
never said a
because I,
bad thing about anybody ever that I've ever heard. And I just like people like that. You're always positive. And you showed me a video you made one time when you were in school, and
it,
and the very last thing you said on that video is with, no matter what hand you're dealt in life, you just got to roll with it. And I never forgot that.
oh,
I never
my
forgot that.
my my disability video on YouTube. If
Yeah,
you,
that's the one. When I was going through my cancer treatment, that really helped me because I watched that video and I thought to myself, yeah, man, you just got to roll with it. And that's what and I'm still here. And so are you.
so so how are you doing with your cancer treatment, by the way?
So far, so good, man. I've been in remission now for 4 years, and it'll be
Um,
5 coming up in June, next June.
can you can you tell us a little bit about your friend to the Collider, um that that recently passed away
Yeah, Tuna
from
Tuna was a
from
great guy.
from cancer? You
Yeah,
know, I'm I'm not I'm not trying to make you sad or whatever.
no, that's okay.
I'm
Sometimes it's good to talk about stuff.
but
Uh, yeah, Tuna was a good friend of mine that I met when I moved here to Fort McCoy, Florida. In fact, he had a song called "The Fort McCoy Man," which the first song I've ever heard of his, and I was blown away by it. I thought it was really creative and really great. And I miss him a lot. He would come up and sit on the front porch with his guitar 2 or 3 mornings a week, and I would get out the dobro or the mandolin or something, and we'd just kind of pick on the front porch here in Fort McCoy, and I really miss that.
so who inspired you to play country music with all different bands?
Well,
I
I I, I think it kind of happened by accident. I saw somebody mention earlier on here. I think it was Bud Rockwell that was watching it and said that he remembered me from a band in Pennsylvania called Latigo Smith, and I think that's the first country band I've ever played with. I was more of a rock keyboardist up until that time, and I like blues and R&B, soul music and all that stuff. But I've always been a piano player, and I started sitting in with that band and playing with them some. And Latigo Smith, I think, was the very first country band I ever played with, and I started realizing that, hey, there's actually more money in this kind of music than there is in rock and roll. At least at that time there was, and probably still is, as far as touring and playing with other artists. So uh,
and 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 buddy, did you did you get my email the other day that I sent you on your email saying thank you for creating my song?
yep, I get all your emails. I read them.
Um, I sent you a little article about the Gators so you can read up about them if you ever see one of the players going by uh in that fault, you know who they are.
Okay. Are you trying to convert me to a Gators fan? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, but
Well, that'd be okay
but
if you were. I kind of like them. I kind of like them. They're doing
but
good this year, aren't they?
they they are doing a heck of a job this year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I don't know if you so I know you don't get cable where you are, but you know they're they're doing good this year. If you saw my past shows,
Yep.
I I've been talking a lot about them. So
Yep.
so what's your favorite? What's your do you have a do you have a do you have a specific f- team that you liked in in the football or
Not really. I kind of like them all. I mean, I grew up in up until the 1990s when I moved to Tennessee. I was a Penn State fan, I guess. You know, growing up in Pennsylvania, but I don't really follow them, to be honest. I like it every so often. A game comes on, I watch it, but I'm not a I'm not a big follower of college or professional football. But I like it.
so so what do you like to do for fun? I know you got your own motorcycle and you like to go out with your wife Tammy,
Yeah,
which shout out to Adam's husband um uh Tammy
yeah,
if she's watching here.
yeah. I think she
Uh,
is. I think I saw her come pop up on here a time or two.
um, I think she's still on,
Yeah,
but
she's an
you
awesome
know
lady.
what made you. I'm not trying to. I, I'm not trying to keep you for very long, but you know, what made you um what made you marry Tammy? You know, it's
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the internet. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Uh, what made me marry Tammy? I think when you finally find your best friend in life, and she turns out to be a good lady,
I'm
you just want to stay together. So
I'm 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 just trying to do the best that I can here, asking you questions about different stuff.
yeah.
So, um, what what was your what was your favorite memory about tu- tuna tuna colada that, that you remember? What was the good times you had?
With tuna,
Yeah,
hmm, lots of them. I think the most memorable thing was me crawling underneath his house, helping him wire some Ethernet cables for his recording studio. He was putting in his house one day, and I come over there. I thought he wanted my technical advice, and And I got over there, and now he needed somebody to crawl under there and pull the wire. He knew how to terminate it. So, I never forgot that one, boy. But I didn't mind doing it. I went and did it, and I would do it again if I had the opportunity. If he was still around, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I love tuna colada. You know, I'm I you know I I I understand that people have to go sometime, Adam, but you know, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Whether God God is waiting for you or not, you know.
Well,
But
until then, until that time comes, what do we do?
we just have to live life to the fullest,
And
man.
we roll with it, right?
Yep. Um, and you know, when when you was go, going growing up as a teenager, what was your favorite record that you put um on that you played that you played with?
When I was a teenager, my favorite record that I played the most, I think I wore out Rush 2112. I wore it. I plumb wore it out. I think I had to go buy another one.
Yeah. Um. Back then we didn't have this technology that we have today. Everything is is advanced. You know, you can buy um some of their music online. You can download them. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
You know.
Technology. It's great. It's great.
Um. So
I thought it was pretty
any
cool that I was able to do that jingle, the theme show for your show, for your podcast, and I could do it all on one keyboard, send it to you in a file over my phone. I thought that was pretty cool to be able to do that. 30 years ago we couldn't do that.
Um, what what made recording music um different than it is today?
Uh, Repeat that again. Repeat the question. I think what you're trying to ask me is what makes it different now than maybe earlier in times. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
Well, when I started recording, the very first time I went into a recording studio in the early 1980s,
Um,
we were still using 2-inch tape, which ran at 30 inches per second. They called it 30 IPS. And it was a big, heavy tape, and you only got 15 minutes out of one reel. And so to make an album, you might have needed 6 or 7 reels of tape, at sometimes a couple $100 a reel. So the media, for one, got much more compact when they started using hard drives, or even digital tape. It got better, but now with hard drives, and you can do everything in a digital format. And the editing back then, you had to take a razor blade and actually cut the tape, literally cut and paste it, and that's where that term comes from, which is still used today in digital
uh,
editing.
what do you mean by cutting and pasting, buddy? I'm sorry.
Well, if there was a part in the track you didn't want or wanted to be put in there, you could actually cue it up on the head stack and listen to it. Draw a line on the tape, take a razor blade and cut the tape, and then splice it back together in another tape or back into that tape. And that's how
Oh
you did it. Now,
wow,
now you can just drop and drag it with the mouse.
that is that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is that is some some kind of some kind of technology that I never knew existed, buddy.
Yeah, it might be a little
I
before your time. You grew up in a more of a digital age, I believe. When I started recording, that's all there was. So we got we got pretty handy with the Joe Tall Edit All, which was the editing block on top of the head stack of a tape machine. To if you wanted something to be a certain way, you either had to get it right in one take or splice it in there.
um uh that is interesting. I never knew that. Um so did you was that even before record players or you know?
No, it wasn't before record players, but they would use that tape to master everything on, and then it would become a vinyl record. Yeah, it was about the same time as records, but it wasn't. Now, record players had been around a pretty long time before tape, but at one time they used wire. You can research it when you get to Google recording. At one time they made wire recordings, and then they made vinyl, and acetate was another format. It's not used anymore. I don't believe. Vinyl still is. There's vinyl's kind of made a comeback. There's people pressing records again.
I love Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, you know, George Strait, all those kind of artists.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We wouldn't have the music we have today without those guys. Uh,
And and um and don't forget this this one country country music thing that really you know t- tugs at my heart strings. That was George Jones.
oh, George Jones. Yeah, yeah. George was a classic. That's for sure. That's
You
for
know,
sure.
and I still, you know, and I still don't know, you know, I still don't know how he died. Was it like a drug overdose or
I'm not really sure, Alex. I think he was laid up for a while with that bad car accident he had there on Highway 96 on Murfreesboro Road that night. And uh, after that, I think I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what happened. I know he lived a while after that, but he was never quite bounced back from that. He hit that bridge there.
um he what who who stands out to you as as a great artist of today in country music?
Wow. I don't listen to a whole lot of the newer country. I listen to some.
Sorry
Man,
about that.
yeah, there's a
I'm
lot of good ones. I'll tell you what, I don't really care for a lot of the automated stuff. It all kind of sounds the same. A lot of the what they call it bro country, or it's almost rap like. And I'm not anti-rap. I just in my personal taste in music, it just isn't musical to me. Um, on the other hand, Chris Stapleton, he got a lot of soul. He's a good musician, and man, I love to hear him sing. And so I would say Stapleton's one of the big ones for me right now.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
Hey,
She's
Yvette.
she's she's tuning in from work.
Okay, I saw her. I saw her pop up on there.
Um, so I just I just love you, man, and you really in 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 inspire me to to keep on doing what I do.
Thanks, Alex. I love you too. I appreciate that, man. You
Um,
inspire me to do what I do.
um, so what is your favorite song that you ever played of Tom, Tom Petty?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. Yeah, I've been playing with a band out of Gainesville, like I said earlier, and man, he's got so many good songs, and I've never heard so many Tom Petty songs until the last couple months. I've had to really research the whole discography, but that's a hard one to pick too, man. I don't know. I've always liked "Here Comes My Girl," and I know it's a ballad, but man, the way the 12 string and comes in on that song, and just it's got that what they might call a Lydian, almost a Lydian scale to the intro, and it just I, I've always just really liked it, even before I ever tried to
Didn't
play it.
didn't he used to play like God, what is that song that oh I won't back down and
Yeah, that
and I
I like that one too. Yeah, I know you're a Gators fan. I knew you were going to bring that up. But yeah, that is a great song, and I think when Tom was going through some trouble with the record industry, it was weighing pretty heavy on his mind about them pretty much trying to keep his publishing rights for his music, and he ended up filing a Chapter 11 of some sort uh, to beat it and get the rights to his own music, which is pretty cool. And I think that song may very well be a product of that experience in his life.
um so I I I I love you, man, and thank you for coming on here
It's
and
been a pleasure.
doing this interview.
Thank you,
I'm
Alex. For
trying not I'm trying not to keep you so long, but
Well, we'll do it again
because
sometime.
I know you float because of the you know of the radiation kind of kills you if you talk
Yeah,
for
yeah.
too
I got a few side effects from that radiation treatment, and that's one of the reasons I don't sing a whole lot anymore like I used to. Uh, and after a while, I do start to get hoarse and raspy from talking or singing. So I appreciate you having me on, buddy. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch, and thank you to the Disability TV Network.
um do you guys have any questions before Adam leaves my stream? Um, I, I always like to ask that before I wrap up a interview, if you don't mind.
That's the sign of a good interview when there's not too many questions. That means you already answered them all.
My mom says we love you, Adam.
We love you too, Yvette. You have an outstanding son. Outstanding.
Thank you. You know, even though I have a disability, that don't stop me from doing what I do.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
you know, have before I let you go, Adam, did you do you have did you have any childhood friends um gr- growing up that you really admire?
Yeah, I had a lot of friends growing up, and I moved when I was about 9 or 10 years old. But I was about 10 years old, I think, when I moved from the city out to the country, and I had a lot of friends that I admired. Probably too many to name because I learned a little something from every one of them. Most of them were probably the best friends I probably had was my brothers. I grew up with three brothers, and two of them within 18 months of my same age, and they're all musicians. So we spent a lot of time together and a lot of time playing music. When we became teenagers, we always had a band because everybody played something different, and we had a big old barn. So we in the country we could make all the noise we wanted to, and the neighbors couldn't
Yeah,
complain.
yeah, but now you know everybody. You can't do that no more. Am I right?
Well, it probably depends on where you live, how much noise you can make. I think that falls under some type of zoning laws or something. I think when you live out, that's one thing I like living out in the country. If you can fire up a John Deere tractor with no muffler at 4 o'clock in the morning, why not a Marshall amp and a Les Paul?
Um, that's that's um that's 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 damn right, buddy. Um, you know what I like about you, Adam. You know when you had those little parties over there at your house, um, you 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 really know how to how to how to how to show how to